Likes to be sick. But very often, it's not only that we don't like to be sick, we don't like anyone to even mention the fact that we might be sick. So I think of myself when I was young. If I had a cold or a cough or a fever or something, I would think to myself, okay, this will all pass in a few days, I'm sure it'll be fine. And if it lasted for longer, and my mother would ask me, do you want to go to the doctor? Do you want to just check it out? Like, we don't know what it could be. Maybe it's something more serious that needs to be taken care of. And I would always say, no, let's just wait. Let's just wait. It'll be fine. But the reality is that the reason I didn't want to know was partly because out of a fear. What if this thing that seems, and I hope is a little thing, ends up being something big? What if? And so, instead of going to the doctor, I just pretended and hoped that everything was going to be fine. Now, this happens to be the same thing that we do in the spiritual life. Very often we come across sins and ways of living that are really, really bad for us, really dangerous at times for our spiritual lives. But we want to pretend that we'll be fine by ourselves. I'm going through a bad phase for a few days. I'll struggle a little bit, but then I'll be okay. And we don't want to go to the spiritual doctor, who is God himself. So we try to wait and we try to wait and wait and wait. But the reality is that so many of us in the spiritual life keep away from the doctor. So many of us keep away from the one person who can very quickly and easily identify what is wrong with us and give us the cure. So what does he do? As we hear in today's gospel, Jesus goes to the sick. He makes house calls. He goes to them to show them that, first of all, they don't have to be afraid of him. They don't have to be afraid of what he says, what the diagnosis might be, because he doesn't only have the diagnosis, he also has the cure. So to find out what is wrong with us is not the end. Once we find out, then we have also in Christ the remedy. So in this period of Lent, what we are called to do is to acknowledge that maybe something might be wrong with us. Maybe we are spiritually sick. Maybe we can have a cure. But the key to all of that lies in meeting the doctor, lies in meeting Christ. And for that we must acknowledge that we are sinners, that we are spiritually sick. In this period of Lent, let us do that. Let us make an effort to, in spite of all the difficulty, acknowledge that we are spiritually sick, and then go to the doctor, go to Christ, the healer,